there! My name is Matt and I'm a practitioner here at Firefly Hollow. The last Monday of every month, I lead a group called Mobile Meditation that meets here at the center. When the weather is nice enough, we meet at local parks to incorporate nature into our meditation. If you join us, you'll enjoy exploring various forms of meditation and no prior experience is necessary. I always start each meeting by inquiring what everyone's experience is, and then I cater our meditation style to everyone who is in attendance. I also teach private meditation classes here too. Another service I provide is intuitive coaching. I've been helping people through various channels for nearly 15 years, and that experience, along with my natural inclination to observe and find out how people tick, allows me to provide insights and perspectives for my clients. My style of coaching is primarily inquisitive, meaning I tend to ask questions more than actually tell you what to do. I approach sessions this way because I've found that over the years, when you arrive at a conclusion through your own process, it tends to be far more meaningful and in most cases provides lasting change. Another service I provide is oracle card readings. An oracle reading is similar to a tarot reading, except oracle cards tend to be far more intuitive and open to interpretation. It's very easy to get wrapped up in the details of life and not be able to understand what may be going on because you are so close. And I found that these readings provide a beautiful perspective to help gain clarity. Finally, I would like to share my philosophy and a bit of my story. I was born and raised Roman Catholic, and when I began to realize I had these intuitive gifts, I felt the best way for me to put them to good use was to become a member of the clergy. So I resolved to become a priest at a relatively young age. However, over the years, as I dove deeper and studied more about my church and my faith, I found that I disagreed with aspects of my lifelong religion. So as I slowly left my Catholic and Christian upbringing, I happened to stumble upon and fall in love with Japanese culture, and subsequently Buddhism. This is where I began learning about meditation. I suffered for the majority of my teenage years with panic attacks, and even worse, they were almost always triggered subconsciously. So I would be nonchalantly walking to class, and then all of a sudden, my heart would race, my vision would narrow, and I would become overcome with nausea. Luckily, as I explored the wonderful world of meditation, it began to lower the intensity and frequency of my panic attacks. I continue a practice of meditation to this day because it was so pivotal in my life. I love sharing its benefits by leading the mobile meditation group and teaching meditation workshops here a few times a year. Though meditation helped reduce my panic attacks, I would still have them from time to time. And so I continued to seek a way to rid myself of these crippling episodes. Then, one day, when I was chatting with a psychologist friend of mine, I learned about exposure therapy, which is essentially exposing a patient to the trigger of their anxiety within a semi-controlled environment in varying lengths of intensity over a period of time until they reach an average level of comfort in normal circumstances. So, with the help of another friend, that's exactly what I did. And I'm happy to say I haven't had a panic attack in nearly 10 years. Over my life, I've also developed a deep love for learning about different cultures, religions, mythologies, and spiritualities, even those that most people would consider fringe. I try to enter each of these systems without any judgment, with the intent to find the benefit they bring to humanity, and how they have influenced and been influenced by other religions and cultures. It has been an illuminating experience and continues to be a passion of mine that I try to incorporate into the services I offer as well as my day-to-day life. These experiences have led me to develop a twofold philosophy. The first is always striving for balance. So when I work with people, I try to help them see what may be out of balance in their lives and what patterns, behaviors, or beliefs may be responsible for that. More often than not, that requires diving a little deeper into ourselves than we may be initially comfortable with. And this can often cause fears to arise. Over the years, I've seen clients project those fears onto people or things other than what is truly causing them. In psychology, this is called transference. I've certainly been in those transference crosshairs over the years too. I've been called an angel, a devil, a genius, an idiot, just about everything in between. However, as long as the person is willing to investigate the root of their labeling, we find that those fears are just a monster under the bed, a fear of the unknown that ultimately isn't anything to be afraid of in the first place. And I can assure you, I'm a regular, everyday person just like everybody else. The second part of my philosophy is presence, and it's so simple it seems infinitely complex. It's simply being where you are, not thinking about the next moment or dragging the past into the present. It's understanding that was then, this is now, and guess where I am. When you start exploring presence, it's terrifying. Your mind becomes preoccupied with, what if I don't do this? What if I forget about that? Or I have to remember this. I can't let this go. And eventually, you realize you will do what you do, whether you choose to worry about it or not. And better yet, in the present moment, fear doesn't even exist. Think about it. You're here. There's no question about that. You can worry about where you'll be or where you've been, but now you are here. There's a great stillness to that. And grasping this concept is an amazing experience, and it's easy to accomplish as soon as you're ready to let go of fear. So, if you're interested in working with me and have any questions, or even if you're not interested in working with me, please feel free to reach out. I'm always happy to talk. Thank you for taking the time to learn a little bit more about me. Onward and upward, my friends.